Hello there, welcome to another commentated league match, this time between Hakha and phika. They're both in A this season. The current standings in A are as follows. This is one of those matches that's going to be probably most important for avoiding relegation rather than making it into the championship match. Though with a strong lopsided result, either player could put themselves into a position for that as well. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to be biased against Hakha for making us wait 5 minutes. But only slightly. Only 4 or 5 minutes. Alright, so we have a bunch of colors. There's like a lot of colors on this board. Blue and orange and stuff. And green. Very colorful. Oh, I mean, you got... I mean, there's okay Hunting Lodge stuff too here, right? Like, the buy doesn't work super great with Hunting Lodge, but there is disappearing money, action money. You get the free points from Basilica, thanks to Lucky Coin. Thanks, Lucky Coin. They both opened Rope Stowaway, which seems fine. I mean, you'd expect your stowaways to get a good amount of reacting here across the game. They're not going to have the trashing because of the coins, the silvers coming in. It's not really going to be that controlled very quickly. I mean, it's possible to get there, but you're looking at single card trashers. So it's not clear that that necessarily beats something that gets off to doing provinces a little bit more quickly. Just because, I don't know, the build-up isn't super exciting, which isn't to say that you don't build up some, but this time we get a tools. So phika is going to be able to win the Basilica split here because of the tools and just hitting 7 there. So that could be relevant. I mean, this is somewhat limited VP gaining per turn. It's not like it's super easy to get tons of money and plus buy here. Certainly province duchy is doable, but and double province is doable at points, but not like you're gonna set up to do it every turn consistently. That seems difficult. You could do Fortune Hunter, I guess, with Hunting Lodge. That could be fun. That would be a way to get your plus buy into play in the middle of your turn. Which could be valuable. Again, the issue here is more the trashing than anything else. And the trashing in combination with the Lucky Coin just probably isn't going to afford you the time to do that. At least it probably shouldn't. If both players kind of dilly-dally, it's possible. We do see Fortune Hunter buy. This isn't the most exciting tools of all time. More silvers. This is probably approaching what the kids like to call a good stuff deck, which I've always hated. But we'll call it that. It's pretty fair here. You're just trying to get the okay cards and see what happens. So there are like a number of $8 turns that eventually you have to wonder what they're thinking. Even into Falconer now. It feels a bit ambitious to me. But before the shuffle is okay. Again, Falconer probably reacts pretty well here. At least some of the time. You would maybe have thought it would come in earlier if you're going to do it, but yeah, this hunting lodge situation is, you just, oh, it's a village, which is fine. You needed a village this turn. But what you really needed was a chapel or a forge. Oh, somebody trashed that lucky coin. I don't think that's right. I don't know who did that, but not phika. Just, you can't, silvers are fine. You could probably honestly have bought like 2 or 3 provinces by now. That 3 is stretching it. But 2, like you could have on your 7th and 8th turn probably bought province. I guess phika bought a gold. I wonder about that. I wonder about the money working out, or thinking that the dollar wasn't worth taking the point for, or the debt, taking the point, getting a point and a debt, since they, I'm assuming, had it 6 exact. The next turn, I think they ended up with, I guess they spent the 9, but Hakha's really working through this one. Yeah, Hakha just does it. I think that's right, actually. Phika can get the lucky coin and activate the Falconer, which is pretty cute. If they want to do it that way. You obviously don't need to do it that. You have the action, but it's not unreasonable. You would kind of like to match the province by, or I would like to match the province by. Which is not going to happen now. You would have had to take some money from the treasurer, or taken. I mean, you would take lucky coin over copper. So we have. Yeah, I'm not loving that. Double 5 turn just seems like a bummer. And also phika doesn't hit 8 here either, right? Well, there's some duration stuff probably. Yeah, so okay, they probably hit 8 here, but now you've lost the point where you're just trading provinces wins from phika's position because you missed a turn of province. So now you have to at least be able to threaten province duchy at the end, or pick it up at some point, I guess. You reacted your opponent's stowaway. That's never good. Never a good feeling. I think they did a bit. I think they were a little bit ambitious here. But you can kind of understand it. I don't know why play the treasure again. You want to play the stowaway, right? You already have 8. Did you not have 8? No, you already had 8. If you were going to take the lucky coin. So playing this treasure lets you trash a copper, but it's got to be a little better to play the stowaway. I guess you're going to buy a stowaway. Yeah, maybe that's fine. Yeah, okay. I can now, obviously, not buying the stowaway doesn't expose you to activating your opponents. So that's a little bit like it would have been better for Hakha probably to just play it, but it's all right. You didn't get a copper trash either out of it, so you added a stowaway to your deck, which is good, but you let your opponent react, which is bad. You didn't. That was pretty much the exchange. But I do think yeah, I think Phika's gonna get this one kind of stolen away. Because they're not, like I said, you don't get the plus buys in play that well. So you don't even really have province duchy threat. And so it all looks a little ugly. If you try to get cute here and activate your stowaway with the falconer gain, then you're going to activate the stowaway for Hakha. It's really a bummer. And the rope buy here doesn't even pop you up to anything. You don't have $10. You kind of have to take province and hope, but you also really, I mean, I can see the hand, so that's obviously a little cheating, but it's pretty questionable to gain a duration here because of the stowaways and basically your position here where you need Hakha to miss province and you need to just get 2 of them, more or less. But they're thinking about it, so it suggests that they're at least have that on their radar. I mean, you basically want to just take silver, go treasure, take key, buy province, and hope you get there on whatever the next hand. I mean, it depends a little bit on what your bottom... I say a little bit. It depends quite a bit on what the last 6 cards are, and I don't have any idea what they are. But, yeah, I really don't think you want like rope or something here. No, see, it's a bit they still now Hakha sees 4 cards. Which is scary. Yeah. Hakha was going to get to 8 anyway, but that's not really how you evaluate that decision. Take the key. Do you get to 11? 11 is pretty nice. No. You still just get province. You can even do province estate is probably fine. Well, definitely fine. You have 13 cards left in your shuffle. Yeah, this is rough. They do get the double duchy, which is as good as they could hope for in that situation. Yeah, I think it's hard because you're shuffling for 8s or whatever, but a bit of a throw, I think. Build up too much. There's just nothing there. Not nothing, but not a built up thing. I really liked Hakha taking that time to kind of think that through at that one before that shuffle and taking that province, even though, you know, just especially based on where the Basilica points were sitting. That was really good. Alright, first game to Hakha. This board has much more thinning, though not actually much to do with it, to be honest. Payload wise, there's not anything exciting here at all. There's no super gaining thing or whatever, nothing. So you essentially just want, I mean, again, you can build up the buy hunter or whatever, sheepdog, draw. I mean, sheepdog's not very good here, but it's draw. And just have golds and baubles and money and militia or whatever, and still build up. The thing that's a little bit less built up is just basically enough draw to play militia and buy province and like sanctuary the province, right? And that just gets a province a turn while attacking, and hopefully robust enough to keep doing it over and over again. So that has to compete with the, I guess you don't need bauble for buy, do you? You've got sanctuary even. So that has to compete with something that can buy like multiple green cards, which is easy to do here. It's just, you know, you get up to maybe double province or something if you go that route. I don't know what Order of Astrologers does. Top decking. Okay. So one person. Right, we had Militia versus Salvager. And also Hakha didn't opt to use their thing. It's just kind of interesting. Use their favor until they got the sanctuary. So one player has picked up Trashers and one player has only picked up Exilers and Exiler, but has the militia as well. You'd kind of expect phika to get cleaner here a little bit faster, but we'll see. Has a really good shot at hitting silver with the sauna in this bottom of this shuffle, though also probably going to have to play against the militia, which is going to make the salvager, sauna, trashing all a little bit more awkward. I'm going to assume Hakha ends up top decking a hunter. That's my bet here, but you could do a sanctuary. Yeah. So we get the hunter, which all but guarantees playing the militia next turn. Doesn't really matter all that much whether you have saunas for the Avanto part. If someone does lower the saunas gone, then they're not like way better than just having like some blessed villages and Avantos. So, and you don't need a huge amount of draw here. So yeah, like the militia prevented the sauna from getting a trash in there, which is pretty nice. They both have militias now, which is important here. Gonna get a nice trash. This has got to be super easy copper estate, right? No, I don't like that. That's smacks of fancy play to me. I mean, maybe you're worried about the shuffle trigger. I guess it is a pretty bad shuffle. Okay, all right. I accept it, Hakha. You've convinced me. Very persuasive. This is gonna be a blessed. Okay, it goes for the sauna. Interesting. That was weird looking. Weird cards moving around during the astronomers. Classic hunter behavior. Hakha does have 2 sanctuaries, which is okay. Do like bobble? Second bobble is crazy to me because bobble sucks, but 1 bobble is like acceptable, but 2 bobbles is actually wild to me. It's really close to buying a copper here. Like, it's very, very close to buying a copper. We have a lot of blessed villages in Phika's deck and not really terminals, but there are, I guess, a couple terminals. It does let you maybe take a sheepdog on a loose $3 at some point. Slowly but surely they're going to get deck control, though the draws kind of still suck. Hunter's going to cantrip a bunch, and I mean, you are playing action and treasure, but the hunters are still going to cantrip occasionally, so you don't end up with actually that much draw against a militia attack, which is tough. There's a nice hunter. So I don't know. I mean, you almost, yeah. I like the sheepdog there. This is a weird play order to me, but I guess it doesn't matter too much. And maybe it's better. I was thinking hunter before sanctuary, but since you have a second one, it's probably fine. Oh, we get to play 2 baubles. We can top deck 2 things. 3 things even. 2 things we buy and the favor. That'll change our life. You have to figure out, you gotta get some golds. So like, when exactly? You have 9 here. You could go, yeah, because you don't really want to do like gold sheepdog, your hakha, so you don't have villages. You might just buy gold, to be honest, just to start upping the money a little bit. Or if you think Phika is nowhere near where you are at all, you can just buy a province, and you'll certainly be able to buy that province every turn for the rest of the game. You just have to kind of evaluate whether you think your opponent can get caught up. They're going for it. They're dipping. I think that's not unreasonable. You're going to put 2 hunters on top every turn. Now, you do need to hit labs on some of them. But you're going to get to trash 1 more copper, and then you're stuck with your money. You could go back. I mean, you could go back for gold too if you miss, and then you can trash even more coppers before going back to provinces. But I think Hakka is gonna be okay. I think this will probably work out. The estates being in exile doesn't hurt either. Those 3 points aren't nothing. Maybe even ain't nothing. Because if you're phika, yeah, you like have to match the. There's nothing. You need a gainer here so bad. Just some kind of gainer. We'll see how well Hakka's draws go in this moment. Well enough. So it's kind of hard to evaluate whether that was like average or whatever, but like it's probably pretty typical. And you are competing with someone who just doesn't even really have a deck. In some sense. Didn't get the triple, but they have labbed, so that's, you know, as long as they lab, you make it. So it does look like, did they all lab? I think they all labbed, which means you have to get them all to lab, or one to triple and one to whatever. One could triple while one cantrips, but it did look like they were all labs, so that's a little bit tighter than I was imagining. So obviously, like here now you have to get a triple, I think. So you missed it here. I don't know, you just put a hunter on top. You just buy a hunter, or do you buy a gold? Gold will let you trash more coppers, which is cool. Gotta love that. You could trash one now even. I'm sort of inclined to think the gold is a little better than a hunter. I wouldn't. Another thing you could do is just buy a duchy, but I don't think that. I think that's not good. I like this. This is gonna make hitting the 8 way easier. So again, now you're just can phika build into something in time? It just seems so hard. You have to buy golds turn after turn. Like, what are you doing? Or what is it doing for you? Like, even now, if you like double duchy or whatever, you can match the points. Oh, see, there's a cantrip. That's, you still are pretty likely to make it. Gotta find the militia though. Okay, we're gonna find the militia. Didn't get to trash the other copper. You could trash a bauble. Yeah. That seems about right to me. The militia against the sauna was pretty rough. Like, it made the saunas quite a bit worse. I think maybe I'm talking nonsense. All right, Hakha takes game 2. Hakha with this, if he keeps winning, pretty good shot at the championship. Has more matches to be played, but I don't know who against. Let's look. Cyrix. Got to play Cyrix still. And then the other match for phika is against VR Smith. Eureka Mome. I looked at. I'll never remember how to say it. They're not guaranteed to be in the championship, but it's very likely. VR Smith would have to 6-0, and Hakha would have to do good in both of these 2 remaining matches. Cool. All right, another militia board. This time it's very close to us. Extremely close to us. There's Lost City Militia, but I don't know if there's any particular interaction that lets you use that. You could get in contracts with pirates. Contracts are okay here, I guess. I don't know. Contract is... There's villages, so that means contract is a lot worse. We have moneylender. Is there any bard? Yeah, you got everything here. Here is like, it kind of looks like the last game, except the payload is just a lot better. The draw is better. So the pieces are similar, just in their like vanilla aspects, but the extra stuff is more. What did they open? Do we have a moneylender wishing well for both? Oh, somebody, they used their favors, so it was a moneylender Lost City and a moneylender militia wishing well opening. Not quite. It was something. He didn't buy anything turn 2. I wonder if we'll see the barbarian come out. There's no copper or no curse trashing, so the curse hits are okay. And the downgrades of things are pretty nice. Like losing Lost Cities hurts a fair amount. Training looks pretty likely at some point. Whether that's on Lost Cities or Wishing Wells, depending on your deck composition, that seems fairly likely. I do think a pirate is pretty likely at some point. At least I think I would buy one. Buying 2 might be a hard sell, but we're seeing the training already go for Hakha. What's Forest Dwellers do? Yeah, okay. Forest Dwellers not the most exciting ally of all time. Not my favorite. Even the opening stuff is pretty underwhelming. It's sort of reminiscent of the like the Cave Dwellers opening stuff, but worse. I don't know if it's actually worse, but it's worse, I think, when you like have like importer starts. Then the Cave Dweller stuff gets to be a little more powerful, I think. Not that these comparisons mean anything. Okay. Hakha has $9. 10 would be better. Only play one copper. You don't want to let your opponent know you have another copper. That would be telling. What are you going for? Silver Lost City? Thank goodness we didn't play that copper though. Yeah, this is already looking rough for phika also. I don't see anything in phika's deck to sort of mitigate or to balance out the advantages I see in Hakha's deck at the moment. It does not look like it's gonna be close actually at all. And we may see some wait, did they just not play the moneylender? Just for the heck of it? They had actions, right? Maybe they didn't. No, they didn't have actions. Yeah, I do like the pirate buy. It's just gonna be too slow here, I think. Hakka's gonna like... Hakha can add Barbarian here. I wouldn't hate that at all, actually. I really wouldn't hate Barbarian Lost City. And Pirate's fine too. I think if you're Hakha, you just keep on these Lost Cities. Why not? They're a really good card when you play them. Also, there it didn't matter too much draw-wise, right? Because phika had the barge duration, so who cares? They were going to get through their stuff. Almost certainly. Wonder if we'll see a gold buy or a contract buy. Or like silver or Lost City. There's not enough money for that. That's rough. I don't know. guess I get it, but you're so toast here. It's not gonna be close. And maybe you get another barge now, yeah. You're gonna be kind of soon into the range where you can get use out of the third buy. I still kind of wanted to see Barbarian, but that's fine. It starts to get less interesting the more pirates your opponent has played and stuff, but so the window for that is probably gone. And obviously it doesn't boost your money as much as pirate does in the long run. But I do feel like you could get some good hits on the opponent. The good part of that was also just believing that Hakha's position was strong enough that he could mess around with some things. And hitting people with Barbarian is really fun. So is phika gonna buy the treasure here? I think he might. I mean, you want to play the militia still, even though it won't stop your opponent from drawing. Man, the money is bad here. Comparatively, the training in Fortitude on the Lost Cities is really telling. I don't know if that's what I meant to say. It's really making a big difference here, though. I'm actually a little surprised at the contracts versus golds because the contracts aren't that good. They're okay. The point here is like contract is like purely a consistency angle, right? And the Hakha's deck especially is not inconsistent, like at all. So you're just kind of cutting down your money doing it this way. But whatever. I think underplaying a bit. Third barge is actually really weird to me. This is just like way over consistent right now. Now long run, but I feel like you can build in a way that you're kind of riding the edge a little bit more. Because this is just super, and the risk is that by playing this so conservatively by Hakha, you give your opponent time to catch up economically. And then you have to play a real end game, and that's annoying. And I don't think you should have had to play a real end game here. I think you should have been able to play my deck's so much better, my opponent wants to resign game. So maybe we'll still get there. But I'm not loving the last couple turns from Hakha. If you bought training, surely you just are clicking on Lost City. Bum, 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 bum. This is so crazy. Okay, at least they get gold now. At least he gets gold. Well. Are there 2 pirates to resolve? Or is that other pirate, does the opponent's pirate leap into play into your line of cards? I don't know what happened. Or if Hakha does have to resolve 2 of them. Oh, Hakka's resolving 2 of them. Okay. Gains gold. Good. I love it. I think gold is like a lot better than contract here. Even though I'm not like super mad if somebody decides they wants a contract or whatever. But province? Yeah. All right, I'm more down with Hakka's approach on that turn. I feel better about that one. So, you know, like I said, you are going to have to play a real end game here because your opponent has money now. There's like 3 turns where Hakha had like close to effectively twice as much money as phika. Probably not 3 turns, but at least a couple, just because I like the Lost City better. I think you can just play the bar. You don't have to duration them. You can just play the barges. I actually wouldn't be durationing the barges nearly as much as they have been. Or I would have. I guess that's more of a build thing than play decision necessarily. But I think you can play with fewer barges and be playing them, just not duration style. What did so phika doubles? Does phika have threat on triple? I didn't count the money. That's gonna be hard to tell until they just play the turnout. Does Hakha? I mean, I guess eventually Hakha can have threat on triple. We're already sitting at 12, 14, 16, 22, 23. The militia, it's like 23. So like next turn for sure, Hakha can threaten triple. So like Hakha could just probably single now and it's probably fine. I don't know if the buys are all there. But he's mentioning me. Oh no, it's probably one of those spammers. Yeah. Wait, how do I ban people? I can multitask. I can defend the sanctity of the Discord while not paying attention to the match I'm supposed to be commentating. I can do both of those things at once. Let's see what if Hakha gains gold, this $2 is fine. Doubles. Did they count? They must have counted. One has to assume that they counted and that it wasn't there. Otherwise, it's a big mistake. I didn't count. I wonder if there was ever a point where a copper buy mattered for threat. Like if phika could have bought a copper to have threat to play the moneylender, if that ever mattered for triple. That would have been a cute thing to think about. Though possibly never relevant. Buy a treasury. If you're hakha, you can just buy experiment actually with this buy. Should be fine. If phika doesn't win, buys a barge. That's a little weird to me, but okay. Alright, just a sec. I'll be back. Wait, let's look and see if I can wait for the end of the game, probably. How much money does... What are we looking at here? $12, $14, $18, $19. Okay, it doesn't look like the copper was moving the needle. So Hakka's gonna win this one. All right, I'll be right back. My task was very brief. Yeah, so like copper was 22. You would have had to threaten. But if you don't play the contract, right? You put yeah. So you don't duration the you play the contract, but don't duration the contract and then buy a copper, and you do have some threat on triple, and then Hakha can't do this. So you would have had to count, but I think that's a better line than just what phika ended up doing. So I think Hakha just has 24 now. If I counted correctly earlier. Okay. Well, now Hakka's up to 3-0. Making a strong case for a return to the league championship. We have Sook. Is there anything super Suki here? I don't know. Probably not. Anything super crazy. T-Mog sack of loot. Sometimes there are things there. Got trashing. Lots of ways to gain loots, actually. Yeah, I mean, man, the priest stuff, none of the priest things ever do anything. You can make the money, of course, but to what end? I don't think it does anything for you. You have to have buy. It's just, no. It just doesn't do anything. I wish priest's bottom meant something more often. Don't quote me on that. we have priest well versus priest battle plan. Somebody's going to war. Somebody is hoping for peace. So do you just rotate immediately? Yeah. It's an angle to take on the rotators whenever your opponent doesn't open with it and you do, just to swap it right away. I don't know how much power that's going to give you here, but it's possible that you get to make an awkward warlord situation at some point. Though there's some decks here that don't really care about warlord all that much. Like, if you have Sack of Loot and you have T-Mogs and you have buy provinces, you know, you can make the game pretty short. Hunting Lodge Souk does do a little bit of stuff, because there's like Priest and Archer and Search to do the hand size adjustments, but you would really, for that deck, want there to be another village pile. Would be quite helpful for that. Hakha gets a T-Mog. Wishing well wishing. You can start splitting your action gains now, even if you're worried about Warlord. Like whether you get a Wishing Well or a Patrician here. Something to think about. Does go with the Search. Interesting. Got him up to the Sack of Loot, which is nice. Yeah, the deck quality gap here again looks like it's getting kind of lopsided into Hakha's favor pretty quickly here. Good double Patrician here. And it doesn't look like dangerous Warlord times are in the near future. And you can play around him pretty well, I think. Goes for another Priest, okay. Not convinced, but whatever. This is what happens if you buy two Priests. You draw them together in this garbage awful hand, and then you're sad. So that, I mean, that's just proof right there. Oh, okay. Now the Priest has died. Sorry, Priest. This is a question, right? Do you want just a bunch of money and buy right now, or do you want to dig in a little bit? I'm out here digging. I'm discarding. The shuffle won't be bad. There's just a bunch of good stuff in there. It's just your deck. So if you think your deck you know, has anything in it, go ahead and toss. Love it. All right, we get a sword. We have $8. 3 buys, lots of buys. Yeah, this is just the goes for maybe another souk. Yeah, okay. Souk is nice with T-Mog. Yeah, I'm afraid this one isn't gonna be close either. Does Hakha know? I don't know. It could be anything. I don't understand, but I don't understand what any of the danger is. Would be in that situation. I don't know what that this comment means. They found it was a wishing well. They knew all along. Should have just played the patrician. It would have drawn either one. Why didn't they know? Here, I guess you just stop. I mean, you could toss. You would get to play your sack of loot. Jury play your T-Mog. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think there is a souk deck. Well, I mean, we'll see. Hakha might build it, but I'm thinking this is more a mix of things. They have a sack of loot. It's not really a souk friendly situation, but you still can take souks to trash. And then you can T-Mog them into other stuff or whatever. And you can still play a couple for payload, right? You don't have to play whatever. I also just don't think there's any threat of warlords, right? Because what if phika rotates the warlords? The person who gets 3 of them is probably Hakha. Hakka's not, I don't believe, going to be all in on one thing, right? Just because the sack of loot's already in deck. I would have actually gone with the souk trash. I like that better than the well trash. Wishing well seems nice to keep, but whatever. Again, Hakka's the decks are not close. I don't think. The T-Mogs are great. You can get a lot of money from souk eventually, but I think you just toss them. Oh, I would have called. I guess Hakka's just waiting for like a finish on the T-Mogs, but I would have at least thought about calling on the sword. But this is fine. If you don't want your wells to hit, oh, they hadn't drawn the suit yet. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Gonna kill this Sook. Okay. Yeah. You've got enough loots to work your way through the end here. Hakka's just gonna eat up points. You can double mill here and then you probably won't double province again, but actually after you figurehead you may be able to do some like mill and true double. I don't think the points are going to be, I don't think there are going to be enough points left for phika to make this come back do anything. They may wait on the other mill. So I think it's pretty okay to just go ahead and do it, call it. I don't know, is there another game that's going to be super nice? The Sooks are going to be worse here. May not even get to like a normal province. No guarantee of that. The Sooks aren't making money. At least not now. The figurehead was actually pretty annoying. Maybe should have thought about, well, there wasn't really anything to do with it. Unfortunately for Hakha. Now the Sooks are just gonna get worse and worse and worse. Can you get enough out of them to even... No, because you're holding 5 cards. You can trash one of them, but... You trash one of them and play and you get like $1 more. Is that right? 5. I guess you get $3 more. One's a herbalist, one's a... Yeah, it does get you to province. That's a big deal. This is a scary hand though. This is a terrifying hand actually. Oh, don't resign now, phika. Well, it's hard. How many points are there? There's 24. I mean, there's enough points, but it's not like phika's deck is like really super great at holding duchies. It could do it a little bit, but by the time the T-Mogs roll around again, it'd probably be a problem. Okay, so now we got monkey, farrier. See what happens with the farrier stuff. You could just open it and try to get a displace. Displace is nice. Monkey, of course, is here to be a little annoying. Okay, it does go for the farrier opening. I think that's not unreasonable. It didn't do anything, but what do we have? What do we have? Pocket goes with the silver. Silver looks like the thing. Phika goes right back into the farewell to get to the 5. Hakha goes with the encampment opening. Copper trash. There's a bit of well, Hakha drew displace hand on turn 3. I was gonna say there's a bit of risk if you don't hit displace soon that you've kind of made your hands a little sad, but I guess you can always farrier on 4. Hades 2 is now available early access on Steam. We gotta load that one up, everybody. Well, you don't all have to do it, but I'm going to. I got an email. All right. Displacing stuff, cool. Someone's gonna eventually get a gold, I assume. Maybe not. Maybe no one will ever get a gold. This is a bit of a bummer hand to not hit an estate. Your phika. These I won't lie, these draws kind of suck. This is just another bummer hand. The farriers where you're just paying 2, I think it's fine as an accelerant and it makes sense, but it's like not going anywhere. You have to be able to at least be upping the value of that coin to card, you know, ratio, and it hasn't happened yet for the decks. Now we've got these monkey situations. I've never understood monkey and I never ever will, but that's fine. I was a little surprised that Hakha didn't buy the gold the turn they had 6. But surely, right? Surely this turn. I guess you can try you could get a plunder, I suppose. People always love plunder. People always plunder, plunder, plunder. Gotta buy plunder. Whatever. I'm a gold loyalist. And I will be till the day I die. Gold's a lot better with Farrier, just saying. It's just there's, you know, there's more doing there. Also, if you ever have charms and stuff, it's better with displace province things. Just saying. Really makes you think. But no, you can play the silver and get a VP token. So it's gotta be better. Tracer said these. He's gonna drop a real truth bomb on us, I'm positive. Actually, maybe responding to something that I can't see. That's also possible. All right. At least no one's too likely to buy a hunter. That's our one consolation here. This will just be the next buy someone makes. Hakha buys another displace. So it's 3-1 on the monkey situation. But the action, the village, did phika bottom deck an encampment, or are 4 of them in Hakha's deck? Goes with the double monkey play. Interesting. I guess it was probably down at the bottom. Hakha pretty lucky to draw into the encampments. I mean, not like it wasn't crazy or anything. This is like a race to see if you can get more displaces than your opponent going, draw them 1,000,000 cards while they're drawing you 1,000,000 cards. But you just sit there knowing everyone's going to draw 1,000,000 cards, but you hope that your payload play is better. Whatever that happens to look like. Imagine if you had a gold in your deck that you could displace into a province, and then later you could displace that province into the gold, and then you would have 2 golds in your deck. And it turns out your deck also has even more displaces and also lots and lots of plus buy, and that the gold's 6 cost and the extra money it gives is more valuable than 2 VP points. Maybe 3 VP points, maybe 4 VP points, but you know. We gotta get people wise on plunder. We've got to wake up, all of us. It's gone on too long. Don't compare anything to anything. Don't not no. Not they're not all the same. We can be better. Looting. Okay, whatever. I really wanted a shield. You know, it would have been a good loot to gain right then. Is anyone following me? What loot would have been really cool to get at that moment? Starts with a D. And it ends with an abloons. I'm with Silly Potter. Always support Silly Potter. Sword would be crazy. That is true. Sword would be a game changer. No, sword's not. Sword's fine. Sword monkey is a little funky. But sword's fine. I like loots. I do wish the plus buy was. I wish Insignia and Figurehead and whatever doubloons itself had plus buy. I'm probably missing one, but I don't think Hammer needs it. Figurehead doesn't really need it just because Figurehead. It just doesn't help Figurehead that much because of the duration part, but it could have it either way, I think. And really, the plus buy thing is mainly just annoying when you're playing like the event loot things. Like you go for a foray or you go for a looting, and if you need the plus buy, then you like spend your buy hunting for it. I don't think the plus buy thing is even like a big deal if it's. I mean, it's not a big deal at all if it's like sack of loot or pickaxe or whatever. It can matter a little bit in pickaxe, but still. It's the events where you're trading buys for the chance at buy that suck. In my opinion. Gold buy. We got a gold buy. Got a gold buy. We got a gold buy. I wonder if Hakha will be able to draw his deck. What are you doing on your gain and play here? What are you making happen? I mean, Cave, I think if as long as phika draws deck, that silver is quite good. So I guess we have to wait and see how that all goes down, but if the draw's there, the silver is really good to have in deck. Both of them. But I guess we'll find out. I mean, we know Hakka's going to gain 3 or 4 cards, so you're going to see half of this deck easy. I guess the cities aren't quite activated yet. Hakka might pass on the last gain here. Once he skips over to his spectator account and sees the hand. No, I'm kidding. That's true. Does not have to. Okay, does buy a city. Okay. Yeah. So like now, I mean, now Phika's just going to make through this super easy. And the silver is super nice. At least one of these is going to go to a city. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess the other one isn't going to be able to make... You can't chain. You can't get a third displace here. I mean, you can gain it. You can't gain and play the third displace. I didn't think it was there on actions. What did they end up doing though? They just went into green. Okay. Okay, I can kind of understand that. You get your threat up. But is Hakka just gonna buys the farrier like that? You got the money. This is funny, as this board looks like a real possibility for city activation, and it sort of looks like it's just not going to happen. Though there might be a 3 pile for somebody. That would be what my worry would be now, is that there's 3 piling possibilities. Because the monkeys are very cheap. And the farriers are very cheap. But there are still quite a few of both of them. I mean, you can. So, what would your line be? You'd be like, displace monkey, plunder. draw it, displace monkey farrier. You'd end with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buys, which is which is enough to empty, but that's not a win yet. Obviously, if you both the displaces are farriers, you pick up the gain, but that's less money. I don't know. There might be. 5 seems a little high, but what's the exile? The thing is, there's nothing in the exile right now. So you go gold province, and also that the city just is a cantrip, right? Unless you do the plunder. This is like displace. You can't get the golds back. It's hard to lower too, like even one province probably. Now, if you go a little conservative with your gains as Hakha, then you do limit phika's draw a lot. So like if you just go with like a single province, play your 2 monkeys, single province, maybe you set yourself up for threat. I think you can take, I mean, if you just do one province, I think you can do one. Yeah, there's no gold in there. Just taking duchy. The duchies just scare me because of the draw. I don't think they're yeah. I think they're unreasonable, but I don't know why you wouldn't draw the gold, but see, now you just drawn phika so many cards. and then the risk is just that phika does the 3 pile. That's the issue here. That's the real issue here, actually. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't draw the gold, but whatever. Yeah, see, now you have the 3 pile is just so probably pretty easy. Phika has a lot more buys. But quad province is also probably quite doable. Yeah. Well, I mean, there is still a little, again, there's some draw issues, but decent number of these cards left are like cantrips too. Or cities that maybe get activated. Yeah, you have to kind of assume that there's like absolutely a trivial or close to trivial win for phika from this position. But one should never assume. There it is. Overpay, overpay. Oh, wait, yes, they did it. They did it. Why does it just say loses 4 coins? Why doesn't it say overpay in the log? Oh well. All right, nice finish. I do think, yeah, I think Hakha needed to go way lower on gains there, like way lower, because they kind of had some threat to end it still, even if they don't. All right. Yeah, there is swap and footpad, which is wild, and also, but also frigate. So yeah, the swap wouldn't be. I mean, the issue is going to be frigate, but swap wouldn't be the only draw. You'd have caravans, so it would be. It would run fine. I guess you don't have village space. Slowly Potter wants footpad. I'm not sure. The footpad on play doesn't seem very exciting to me. I think I kind of am okay with the Tormentor. The limiting factor here really is just the village, lack of village. I say that there's multiple. I mean, because there's no village, then plus buy also becomes a thing, and see, Hakha, if Hakha's cage doesn't miss, Hakha if Hakha's cage doesn't miss, Hakha's draw is super good. That's really funny, actually. This is better than it missing. Though it's maybe not exactly what you want to set aside. Imagine if the Tormentor had been with the 3 estate hand. It would have been wild. Is frigate that strong here? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think the attack is pretty annoying. But are you shutting down? I don't know. Them playing swap a bunch. The Hakha only set aside 3 in order to buy lookout play was interesting. I don't like it. But I guess it was a thing one could do. We get a curse, a locust, not the worst thing ever. I must admit, I think this variety of board where you're kind of action limited and there's yeah, it's true, but at some point you can just yeah, you can swap around. That's true as well. You're not locked in. It's a good point. This isn't my favorite type of Dominion board, even though I think the constraints do give it a little bit of flavor. But it's not my favorite kind of game. Why wouldn't you do some swap chaining? I mean, maybe it doesn't matter too much, but I don't know why you wouldn't do it. Now we see the foot pad. Hakha's taking the word swap a little too literally here. I don't think that makes sense what I'm trying to go for, but you all understand. You all get me. All we want to be is understood. Ooh. Yeah, you can put all this stuff in and spin, and then, oh, I guess I can buy a province maybe at some point. Wow, I guess. Hooray. There is a real question here for me of whether just playing the farmer's market is just like way, way better than any other terminal thing you can be doing. It doesn't seem crazy to me. I've been practicing it. This is also this is a pretty nice board for first moving on Mountain Pass if you do have a lot of money. That is one. I don't really remember all of the Mountain Pass iterations, but it is something I like about the current version where there's sort of nice extra incentive because you can pay off the debt on that turn. Where if you have, $12 or something, you can do some nice things. But if you play it this way, that's not the case. So it didn't come up. Thanks, Hakha, for nothing. What would Hard AI bid? That's the real question. The VP points are pretty good here. I've never been a big figurer on the bidding. I'm just to kind of feel it and send it. It is true, there's some cage coming in. Phika doesn't have cage issues. They're legitimately thin, not cheating with cage thin. It's kind of funny that Phika played the cage once with one estate. That's kind of brutal. I was watching, you know, as usual, watching first player a little bit more. So here we go. Big hand. The frigate. This is a nice turn to play frigate, which isn't going to happen. A nice turn to play frigate or your footpad, you know. That was lucky. I guess they didn't have one, but they could have swapped into one. But the swap was at the bottom. That's pretty lucky for. That's extremely lucky for Hakha on the debt turn to get to play all these coppers and use them. That's actually brutal. It's downright unfair to get to pay off, to get 20 coins here. When there's all this, there's like 2 things that can bust it, that would have busted it bad. So now you're down by... This time there's a frigate. What's Hakha gonna do here? Just acquire a frigate and buy a province? Or will they get like a footpad and try to do it that way? Looks like it's the frigate. These next 6 cards are like all crap, right? Goes for the footpad. They have 8 anyway. They're gonna save up a little bit of coffers. Cycle through the junk a little bit further. Not all crap. There's a gold. That's really nice. That's huge, in fact. It's a big deal. Gotta swap the old lookout. I don't know if there's a way to make this work out for Phika. Even if you get 2 of the last 3 here, you lose. Could have swapped for an island there. Just for the points. I don't know if that moves the needle enough either, though. Hakha's deck is kind of big enough that there's maybe some worlds where he misses province a few turns. Not this one, though, so... That's going to make it very, 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 very tough. Goes for the frigate swap to save a coffer. This is game. GG's. Really nice play, I thought, from Hakha overall. Goals here and there. Somebody's got to talk to somebody about plunder. But nice showing. And puts Hakha now up to 14. So basically, Hakha and VR Smith have 14 going into their last match. They're playing different opponents, and so we'll see which one, or potentially both. They would both have to 6-0 to push Yurikamome out. So that's unlikely, but they're going to be kind of fighting other opponents for a chance in the championship. So we'll have a pretty nice finish to A division this season, it looks like. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you all later.